Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool, and welcome back to more Baldur's Gate 3. We'll be continuing where we left off last time, where we have finally defeated all three bosses of this goblin camp in this Saluna temple. So we're going to start making our way back out. We kind of snuck our way into this area, so there's still quite a few goblins ahead of us in this hallway, as well as outside of this camp. There are a bunch more. So, yeah, we're going to be fighting our way out. Not surprisingly, they are hostile towards us. So we could activate his psionic overload that we gave him last time. And then he does extra damage on all of his attacks. What do we have here? So we have you two, an enemy there. We've got another couple of goblins around. Only 3 of them are in the fight right now. These 3. So these others haven't yet noticed a fight is happening, but they will be joining. We can't get the rest of our party up there for sneak attack bonuses. But yes, Astarion, move forward. Yep, more of them are joining. That's all completely expected. This uses our action to start it though, but it lasts for 10 turns. I'm okay with using it since this turn we aren't going to get our sneak attack. We are! Advantage. Or why? Underdog's bravery. Because we have that... Yes, Underdog's bravery. These gloves that we just gave him are already paying off. Amazing. So we are going to get sneak attack. He gets sneak attack on his own without needing an ally. That is fantastic. Yes. Turn on your overload. Oh, dude. That looks so cool. Is that like big open mouth or an eye underneath him? Big mind flayer hovering over his head. This is all sorts of bad. Like, we should not be using this. Big tentacles, sort of a brainish look. Yes, do the thing.
Good.
He still gets...
Again.
Hello, Dream Visitor. You are still going to get your offhand attacks, which do have advantage. Sneak attack and the overload damage. Haha, yes. Hit for 3 piercing. That was a single attack. What did we do? 3 piercing plus 4 psychic damage. Sneak attack, which hit for 5 piercing and got another set of psychic damage. I don't think the psychic damage should have applied to both the dagger and the sneak attack, if I'm being perfectly honest. That seems a little unbalanced. But you're dead now. Okay, and then we took the 2 damage there. That's a fairly heavy hit that you just took. Alright, the rest of us can't even get anywhere near that fight.
Bye forever, pal.
Garlic? Nearly there. Bonus action jump. Because that doesn't use your movement, so then you can now run up here. Can you? You can get up here. Ooh.
Incoming.
Yes, please. You are out of rages for the day. That's fine. No, definitely don't use your bow. 70% chance to hit. Or 91%. I like those odds better. you didn't kill. Ooh.
Where do I go from here?
What should I do?
Shadowheart. Move forward.
Got to move.
You shot at this guy. 45% is quite terrible. 60% is a lot better. 55. Something to be said for we need to heal Astarion because he's taking 1 to 4 damage every turn. That's gonna drop him pretty quick. So we've still got lots of spells.
Take 2.
That'll keep him running for a bit longer. And then use your action to 1 to 8 versus 2 to 9. Higher accuracy with Sacred Flame.
Nothing important. Is
Oh, I skipped Varric. I clicked my end turn too fast. Please don't hit Astarion. Come on, guys. What's your AC, Astarion? Because I would have thought it would be better than it clearly is. Can we tell? AC 15. Huh. Again, he's got a death save, success, and a fail according to this gauge, but only a success according to that gauge. Alright, Varric, since you decided to take a break last turn. How do I want to deal with these guys?
another step forward?
Okay. Probably there. Stay out of being directly targeted. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to use your turn to take out this 2 hit point guy. Just makes me sad. But take him out anyway, and then move forward to
No surrender.
ruin this guy's day. I suppose I could have pommel strike the other one, and then I would have had my action here. That would have been the smarter choice.
Concentrate.
Do I have you attack? Or do I have you do another healing word? Waste a 2nd level healing word on Astarion so that he will be able to double attack on his turn with his daggers. And I assume this will still be running. Will that run while he is down? That's what I don't know. If he's unconscious, is he still going to be taking damage every turn until he dies? Because that would be extremely bad. Please stop attacking him. Alright, Astarion, you are really bad shape. So I could give him potions. Let's split this a touch. Oh, you do have potions. Use a action to drink a potion. You still have lots. And then you can move forward. And you will get a sneak attack with the overload. Perfect. And then go up here to dissuade them using their bows.
Well, so much for peace.
Alright, Varric.
Don't waste a step.
You have 9 hit points, and you... I can't tell. 15. Path is interrupted. Path is not interrupted. 60% is okay. %60 on you, and 60% on you. Well, took that one out.
Fuck yes.
You can't reckless attack. Why not? You have momentum. Available next turn. Like, you have your action. What makes this not available this turn? Unknown. 70% chance to hit. Let's do Legacy of Avernus Searing Smite. Just because I can. Because a plain attack, 7 to 20, is a reasonable chance of not killing. This is far more likely to kill, and we haven't used it before. There we go. Ooh, loot. Don't think we need her to rush over there because that's going to be dealt with soon. Oh yay, a torch. What I always wanted.
Close ranks.
Let's finish this. Onward.
Okay, we can Sacred Flame. Probably. 55. Or 45. No. Take the 55. 1 damage. Alright. Sadly, we are not going to get... unless we send someone else up here. I stand corrected.
Give up.
If Shadowheart can get up here, and she can,
On my way.
then he will get a sneak attack. Might as well try to attack. I'll take it. Starion, if you would like to sneak attack this guy... No, do a regular attack. In case you miss, your sneak attack will still be available. Critical miss, so good thing I didn't use my sneak attack there. Again, getting the psychic damage on sneak attacks is crazy. And yes, his mental overload thing just canceled itself after the fight was over. That's very good to know. So it didn't just hang around eventually damaging him, which is what I feared since I don't really trust the source, given that it's mind flayers. Grab all the things.
At the ready. What's in here?
Alright. We've got... It's just a mushroom. We'll grab it, but it's not terribly important. I guess while you're down here, let's check these vases as well.
Open up.
Ah, when you are so slow because you're encumbered. I need to do like a very solid clean out of your inventory at some point. Although I guess carrying around great axes is not gonna help you with carrying capacity. We can get rid of all of the trap stuff. Okay, you're not encumbered anymore. You would loot them and them. Take the mushroom. And there's a hole there that I don't think particularly matters because I'm sure we can't get through that. Probably Scratch can't even get through that.
I'm way too big.
Yeah. Alright, that is the end of this whole temple. Besides going down into the Underdark, which we'll do at some point, but not right away. So let's go to camp. We've nearly used up all of our spells. I mean,
Ready. Whatever it takes.
yeah, we've nearly used up our spells. We might be able to pull off another combat with some risk, but I'm fine going to camp already, because we could just short rest and see if we can deal with something. But if there's a large group that attacks us out there, we would be screwed. So let's go to camp. As usual, I'm going to do the rounds to talk to everyone, and I will cut out if nothing important happens. Like no one has anything interesting to say.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Feeling illicit?
No. So about our tadpole powers.
You really did it, huh? Not worried about adding more illithid into the mix? Well, what can I say? You look fine, smell fine, seem fine. And yet, you're more mind flayer than ever. Hope you don't expect me to follow your lead in this.
So hoping you might. The benefits seem to outweigh the costs. It's your choice, but I think the tadpoles make me stronger. Or not at all. I'm gonna go with 2. That's the point of view that I already said I was taking, of they get to make their own choices. I'm not gonna try and force them. But personally, I like the idea, and so I'm gonna use them. Seems like the most middle ground option. So yes, it's your choice.
Do they? I'm not sure either of us can say one way or the other. We don't know what the costs might be just yet.
It's true. We might be facing a cult more powerful than we know. We need all the help we can get. Can't you see by my example that this is worth our while? Or think it through, Karlach. There's a lot to be gained here. I don't expect you to do anything you don't want to do. So we could try and persuade her, but I'm going to go with the... Again, you make your choice. I don't expect you to do anything you don't want to do.
Good. And you know, keep an eye on yourself. If you start feeling loopy, shout. We don't know what these tadpoles are capable of.
So I know in that cutscene we used a tadpole, but we didn't actually unlock any abilities. So I don't think we actually used one. We just agreed that we were going to, but none of the abilities seemed terribly interesting. So I just didn't take one.
Kincha. No good will come of devouring a gaith worm, no matter what you might think.
Yeah. Have you thought about making use of the tadpole's power? I'm pretty sure she's thought about it and thought it was a terrible idea.
Mark my words. This power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. Consume all the gaith tadpoles you wish. I'm not so craven.
I don't know if craven is necessarily the word you're searching for there. If we must bear the tadpole's burdens, we should also avail ourselves of their power. I mean, that's super true, but again, no. It is her choice.
Gladly.
It is a perfectly viable and valid choice to not want to become more infected.
Come on then, don't leave me in suspense. How are you feeling? No errant tentacles? No sudden cravings for a more cerebral diet?
Interesting, Gale is taking it quite fine. More of a science experiment. I'm feeling great, considering these tadpoles could give us quite the advantage. Now that you mention it, I do feel sudden, unrelenting urge to crack open your... Never mind. No sign of ceramorphosis. It's a hard word. Taking effect, if that's your concern. No, I'm feeling great. Consuming the tadpoles could give us quite the advantage.
Wonderful. Advantages are a more precious commodity than I'd have hoped, given the nature of our predicament. I commend you on your willingness to take such a risk. Now, Let's hope your new illithid fuel prowess tipped the balance suitably in our favor. Was there another matter you wish to discuss?
Interesting. So we don't get a persuasion option on him. And while he didn't state that he was wanting to join us in the illithid thing, he seems totally chill with the fact that we have consumed another parasite and are seeing how that affects us. So I think I could convince him pretty easily. We already know Astarian's opinion on the matter.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Apparently our conversation from earlier was enough for him.
It was bad enough having just one of those tadpoles forced upon us. I can scarcely believe you actually inflicted another on yourself.
I think it's more that I made the one that's already in me more powerful. I doubt I put the second one like in my eye, so I have two of them burrowing in my brain. I hope. These illithid powers we're developing, what do you make of them?
On one hand, they seem useful. But on the other hand, or perhaps tentacle before long, we know where they're coming from, and what lies at the end of that path. I never expected ceramorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it.
An extremely valid opinion. It is tempting, but there are tons of unknowns. The odds are stacked against us. Can we truly afford to ignore a potential advantage? Some might say excessive caution is a risk in and of itself, or perhaps you're right. I'm not going with the persuasion option, because my persuasion is pretty good. I could probably win over most, if not all, of my party with enough attempts at persuasion. We're just gonna not bother. Like, I will state my opinion. Some might say excessive caution is a risk in and of itself. And if she ends up changing her opinion after seeing how it affects me, that is her choice.
And some might say eels and turnips boiled in milk is a delicacy, but some are fools. I'll make my own mind up.
Exactly. And I am totally fine with you making up your own mind. Believe that's everyone. Volo has gone missing, apparently. Hi, Withers. I almost had to resurrect a party member with you, but a twist of fate made that not happen. Yeah, Volo has just gone. I guess that's fine.
Seems simple enough.
This time it's giving us a nighttime option. I'll do the rounds again, as always. Very good chance no one will have anything to say, since I think the only thing of interest was the Mind Flayer, and they've already talked about that, but we'll see. Just realized that we missed Will before, so that he could chew us out about using the tadpole. So we'll talk to him now.
Gone gods. Watching you consume that tadpole was more disgusting than the tadpole itself. Though, I suppose that's not what you wanted to talk about.
I mean, it kind of is. What do you think of the illithid potential the Dream Visitor spoke of?
I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious. But once you take an illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you.
Totally fair. You've seen how dangerous these absolute cultists are. We need the extra help. Just look at me, how potent I'm becoming. Think of what we could accomplish together. We face untold dangers, Will. Shouldn't we seize every possible advantage? Like, a lot of these are good, but move on to other
What else is
matters.
on your mind?
One thing I noticed going around talking to all of my allies is the option to talk to them again and try and persuade them again about the parasite is available. So that's probably going to sit there forever until I do persuade them. He was looking in a mirror. Obviously he knows we're here. We walked up behind him. How did you know I was here? Just looking. What are you doing? How did you know I was here?
The only benefit to a mirror when you have my condition, it doesn't quite make up for the lack of a reflection, mind you.
You're intentionally looking at your lack of reflection in a mirror. Like, I know that's a common trope about vampires. I didn't know that was true necessarily in this case. But he's intentionally looking in a mirror that he can't see himself in. Huh. Do you miss it, seeing your own face? Vanity is a weakness. It's a small price to pay for a vampire's power. I don't think he is focused on the power he gained as a vampire. And he is definitely vain, so he probably does miss seeing his own face. Do you miss it, seeing your own face?
Preening in the looking glass? Petty vanity? Of course I miss it. I've never even seen this face. Not since it grew fangs and my eyes turned red.
Huh. I wish there was an option, because we can see in each other's minds, and I remember when we met Lae'zel on the Nautiloid, it said that we saw her face through her eyes when we had that mental connection. So I wish there was an option we could just connect right now and show him his face. Like, that seems like it would be a very nice thing to do, because he clearly wants to know how he's changed. And seems like a very obvious and easy way to do it. What color were they before? You have nothing to worry about. It's a very good face. It's for the best. You're not exactly aging gracefully. Super harsh. What color were they before?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Wow, that's weird.
My face is just some dark shape in my past. Another thing I've lost.
Stare into his eyes, taking in every detail of his face. For you, maybe, but I like what I see. For the best, you're not... No, we're definitely not insulting how he's aging. He's over 200 years old, and granted he's an elf, so they already have long life. But he seems fine. This seems like it's aiming towards a romance, but arguably this one is as well. And I'm not aiming for his romance, obviously. But I think it feels like staring into his eyes, taking in every detail of his face, is at least heading down a direction that somehow helps him, rather than just complimenting him. Like, maybe this one will either describe him, or better yet, give him a view through our mind. Yeah, stare into his eyes, taking in every detail of his face. Okay, that's a bit creepy. I see you, I'll be your mirror, what do you want to know? Count yourself lucky, I have to see this mug every day. Again, the insults you can throw around for no reason. Like, there's no reason we would want to or need to insult him. But we just have the option. I'll be your mirror, what do you want to know?
I want to know what the world sees when it looks at me. What do you see?
Strong piercing eyes, the creases when you laugh. Your mole definitely grabs my attention. I see someone wasting my time. Like, I get they always have the camera face me when I have a dialogue option, but at this moment, I wish it would turn to face him so I could look at him and make a decision. But I would say, from memory, I would think the strong piercing eyes stand out more than creases when he laughs. I don't think he laughs overly much. Occasionally. But it feels more like a hollow half laugh whenever he does. And I don't honestly remember a mole. So, strong piercing eyes.
Oh. Go on.
Dangerous smile, the way your hair curls around your ears. Your unsightly mole. Apparently this mole is a big deal. Dangerous smile.
Very good. Now just tell me I'm beautiful and we can call it a day.
You're beautiful? Karlach is beautiful. You're fine though. You're fine now. Shadowheart, there's a beauty. Is that all you want? Shallow praise. Like, I like all of these choices. But as our character is dating Shadowheart, we're gonna go with this one. We have to. You're fine. Now, Shadowheart, there's a beauty.
How dare you?
He approves.
I thought we had something special. Still, you're nice too. I better get some beauty sleep. It seems I need it if I'm to catch up with the competition.
I wish they'd allowed us to connect minds. Seems like such an easy way to give him a view of himself. And if he's carrying around a mirror so he can stare at his lack of reflection, it's clearly something that he cares about. So the fact they just don't make it possible is weird. I mean, they can't think of everything. Do our companions play with Scratch? I've never seen that, but I just see this dialogue option. It's been a day, Scratch. Come here, boy. From Shadowheart. That'd be cool to have noticed that, but obviously I missed it. But we've talked to all of our companions, so I guess let's go to sleep now. Toss down a quick save, just in case nighttime events happen. I want to make sure that, yeah, nothing stupid happens. Auto select. Good, you're not taking my egg, but you are using an extra food item that you don't need to use. Like, why have you turned on this single camp supply alcohol to get us to 81 over 80? Hang on, we're still at 81 over 80. What? So these ones that say 0 out of 1, they're not using. And it's just there to drive me insane a little bit. Got it. So none of these that we're actually using are just one ration. So let's turn off, say, you. We need 2 more. And then I can grab something that is 2 camp supplies. Like you. And there. Now 80 out of 80. Doesn't that make a ton more sense than 81 out of 80? Look at all those supply packs. It's so good. And all of this meat that's worth a ton of food. We can camp for days. Full rest. Are we going to get a nighttime event? Maybe meet with our guardian again. I think we are, actually. Hello there.
I promised I'd be back. Don't worry. I have things under control. For now. I see you've been using the powers the tadpole gives you. Good. But things haven't gone as you expected. You hoped a druid as powerful as Halsin might be able to remove your tadpole. But he couldn't. You're desperate to be rid of it. Understandable. But you're looking for solutions in the wrong places.
Interesting. So what should I be doing? Tell me who you are. That, I think, is the biggest question I have. Halsin mentioned these tadpoles have been modified with magic. It was worth a shot. There must be a way to get rid of the tadpole. Or I'm done seeking solutions. I'm definitely not done. Who are you?
It's complicated. But I'm an adventurer. Just like you.
I
Just like
don't
you,
fully believe you.
I was infected with a mind flayer parasite. Just like you, I seek to be free of it. But to do that, we'll need to think beyond local healers. Your parasite is unusual. It is wrapped in magic that prevents its removal. Until the source of the tadpole's magic is destroyed, any attempt to remove it will kill you. You were lucky that Halsin knew this. His instincts are right. The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun.
Huh. How do I destroy the source of the tadpole's magic? I thought you said you could protect me. What is the sickness? How do you know so much about these tadpoles? Or tell me more about this magic. How do I destroy the source of the tadpole's magic?
I am
I'm not sure yet. To find the answers, we must first find the source. These parasites are more than illithid spawn. They are vessels for control. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god. You witnessed it yourself with Priestess Gut. That is how the cult of the Absolute is spreading. The highest of their rank, the True Souls, carry a tadpole just like yours. It is how they receive their orders. It is what makes them obey. When the order to transform is given, it will not be a matter of days. They will be mind flayers in an instant. Were it not for my protection, so would you.
So, all those infected, the automatic transformation that the parasites normally have has been turned off. So they're just waiting with this parasite in them. And then at some point, the Absolute will command them to change and have a potential army of mind flayers at his command. She's claiming that she is protecting us, which is why we are free of the Absolute. But we also believe rather strongly that we're being protected by the artifact. And if we're being protected by the artifact, then she's lying, pretending that she's the one protecting us to gain our trust. And that lie makes me not trust her. Why should I believe you? I think that is the best of these. How is it that you're protecting me? Why are you protecting me? Or I don't trust you? No, just why should I believe you?
Because we share a common cause and a common enemy. We are alike, you and I. I've been trying to escape from this evil for a long time. Once, I almost succeeded. Now, through you, I've been given a new chance. You can go where I cannot, and I can protect you from that evil. If we work together, we may turn this around. Hells, they need me. I have to go.
What's going on over there? Is there anything I can do to help you? Tell me where I can find you. Or wait, what do you need me to do? I mean, we know what she wants us to do is just keep getting more powerful using the parasites. She's probably not going to tell us where we can find her because she's clearly in the astral planes. So these are the two questions I think are the most useful. What's going on here? And is there anything I can do to help you? I'm going to try and get more information about what's going on. I think that's the more pertinent question. Once we know what's going on, then it's a better idea to ask how we can help. Assuming we want to help. Because again, I still don't trust her. What's going on over there?
The power I used to protect you, I stole it from someone. They want it back. I will hold them off for as long as I can, but sooner or later I will be worn down. You must discover the source of the magic that controls the parasites before that happens. The cultists are gathering at Moonrise Towers. Use the powers your parasite gives you to convince them you are one of them. And when you find the source of their magic, destroy it. Go. Our freedom depends on it.
So whoever she is against the Absolute. That seems to be reasonably sure. Because she's trying to get us to go to the Moonrise Towers, where Halsin wants us to go, find out how these parasites are getting changed, and destroy it, which is what Halsin is recommending as well. And I think we can trust Halsin. So, if Halsin's on our side, which he seems to be, then it seems like she is wanting the same thing, and at least in that aspect is trustworthy. So that does put her in a different side of the conflict from the Absolute and the Absolute's cultists. And the enemy of my enemy is my friend, even if I can't necessarily trust them themselves, maybe? I don't know. I guess we can leave camp now. We've already talked to everyone. We've got our spells back. Actually, I'm going to go back into camp quickly and get our Longstrider on. Wish there was a faster way to do that. So, give me a moment. I'll skip stuff.
I've been dreaming of our enigmatic visitor again. She told me our purpose was to take on this cult of the Absolute, to infiltrate its ranks and bring it down from the inside. She even offered me greater powers, the result of some manipulation of the tadpole's psionic abilities. Given the magnitude of what we're up against, I see no harm in considering the benefit this offer might afford us. Could be the only way to reach this source in one piece.
Okay. So she once again gave the same vision to all of us. Not super surprising, I suppose. But Gale sounds like he's definitely on board. Our tadpoles are part of the problem, not a solution. We shouldn't rely on them or their powers. You're right. We must use every means at our disposal, even unsavory ones. Or that remains to be seen. I still don't trust this dream visitor's intentions. 2 and 3 are both good. I want to use every means at our disposal, and giving the statement of even unsavory ones makes it clear that I don't necessarily trust the tadpole either. Or our dream visitor. Or we can just say that remains to be seen, we don't trust our dream visitor. But I'm going to go with 2. Use the means at our disposal, but we don't necessarily need to agree with or trust them.
As existential evils go, the Absolute certainly seems an adversary worth halting in its tracks. Any opportunities for us to indulge our tadpole's capabilities are hardly on the same scale. Trifles, when one considers the bigger picture.
All right.
Would that I could, but your entourage is full.
Yep, we'll have
You'll
you
need to make room for me first.
take a spot as usual.
Wonderful. Lead on then.
So I wasn't thinking everyone would have conversations with us about the dream visitor, but clearly they do.
Yes?
So first, we'll just quickly get this out of the way.
My pleasure.
All right.
Yes, of course.
We'll get Astarion back in our party. And probably he'll have stuff to say about having a vision himself. No.
I had another visit from that dream figure. I take it you did too. It claims that if we infiltrate the heart of the cult that's giving out these parasites, we'll find the answers we're looking for. It gave me another gift, too. Just like it did the first time it appeared. Rather generous, if you ask me.
What gift were you given? I don't think I was given a gift. To infiltrate the cult, we must be discreet. The tadpole can help us with that. Whatever's at the heart of this cult, we have to find it by any means possible. I don't like it. This whole thing feels like a trap. That's something we haven't considered. That the dream visitor could be leading us there as a trap. It doesn't seem likely, though. It's possible. I hadn't considered it, but I don't think... It doesn't feel like that's the direction it's going. To infiltrate the cult, we must be discreet. The tadpole can help with that.
And if that fails, then there's always killing them quietly. Now, was there anything else?
Yes, join my party.
I would, but you have so many friends already.
Take Gale's place.
Excellent. Now that that's settled, lead on.
One day I'll catch a break.
Sometimes I click on my character's portrait to have them take over who I'm controlling, and it just doesn't. And so then I try and move them around, and whoever I had before, in that case it was Gale, moves around, and it's like, why does it not always take the click? Don't know. Hey, Will.
I had another dream last night. The visitor came to me and ordered me to penetrate the heart of the very cult that's spreading the infection. It gave me a tadpole gift too, just like it did the first time it appeared. I suppose it hoped this would help. At first, I thought we should avoid these gifts no matter what advantage we gain. And yet, I can't help recall the words of my father. The best plan is the one that works. These powers could be enough to edge us towards victory.
Alright, so you're starting to lean towards team use the tadpoles. We need these powers to infiltrate the cult. This is the plan that works. I'd sooner avoid these powers if we can. I feel like we're being led into a trap. Also, did he say that she's been giving them tadpoles every time she visits? So we had 5 tadpoles left. Are we going to suddenly find that we're at like 10 tadpoles? Because that is crazy. We need these powers to infiltrate the cult. This is the plan that works. We don't actually know that we're going to need them. They will give us an edge, but need? Can't say that we know that. But I'm going to use that line anyway.
Very well. If it's mind games these parasites wish to play, we'll play. And we'll win.
What do you think of the illithid potential the dream visitor spoke of?
I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable
Okay,
consequences.
same line you had before.
I can't say I'm not curious. But once you've taken a illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you.
He was the one who said early on that
All right. What else is on your mind?
in order to get away from his contract with the Fiend, Mizora, I think her name was, that he might need to make use of the tadpole. So now that we know more about what that involves, I think it's interesting that he's now pushing back a bit more about using the tadpole.
I had another dream. Which, I suppose, means you did as well. Whoever's reaching out to us truly does seem opposed to the Absolute, but wants us to embrace the tadpole. Venture right into the heart of the cult. Perhaps we truly have a secret protector. Or we're walking into a trap.
So is there a difference between what our dream visitor is asking us to do versus what Halsin is asking us to do? Because Halsin wants us to investigate them as well, but I guess he didn't necessarily say that we need to secretly insert ourselves into their cult and pretend to be one of them, which is what the visitor is telling us to do. Halsin just said we need to go there and figure things out. And this seems the best and easiest way to do it. But everyone else is treating this as if it's a very strange request that our visitor is making for us, even though it seems to be basically the same one that Halsin told us to do. Yeah. Secret Protector seems strange because she definitely knows that her artifact protects us. I don't know. Well, let's talk to the two of you as well before we head out.
To ask.
Another visit from the Golden Paladin. It said we'll get the answers we need about the tadpole if we infiltrate the cult.
We'll need to be discreet to get into the heart of the cult. Powers might help. Then let's do just that. Not sure if we can use these tadpoles for good before extracting them. It could be worth it. And this feels like a trap. I don't think we should indulge in the dream visitor at all. Yeah, we'll need to be discreet to get into the heart of the cult, which means probably bringing the on fire tiefling of rage may not be the best call. But yes, the powers might help.
It's a fair point. I just don't want to take a short-term boon. I want to win this whole thing. To finish off the cult. To get this tadpole out. To stay sane the whole time.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm hoping it's not a short-term boon for a long-term loss.
Another dream. Another order from that dubious visitor. It announced that we will find the answers we seek in the Absolute Cultist's lair, and offered another generous gift. A persuasive creature. It tempts us with power, expresses its admiration, its adoration. Avert your eyes whenever it appears, and do not avail yourself of this new power, no matter how alluring. You've no idea what damage it could do to us, how far into illithid madness it could drag us.
Definitely true on every point. We don't know enough. We'd use this skill to manipulate these cultists. We'd be fools to refuse it. I think the dream figure was right. Follow these cultists, we may find the source of our tadpoles. I distrust the visitor too. I'll avoid using this power. No, not at all. I think the dream figure was right. Follow these cultists and we'll find the source of our tadpoles. It's what Halsin told us to do.
Yes. The one truth that fell out of its cankered lips.
Disapproves.
There will come a battle. But it will be one with swords, not mind games born of brainworms.
I mean, to be honest, it's probably both. We're probably going to use mind games for ways, but eventually it's going to break down and it'll be a battle. These dreams linger in my memory. Do you think that strange figure will come back?
It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still.
Interesting. So, originally she was thinking it was a mind flayer elder, which I think is a very solid belief. But now she doesn't. Greater Master, who or what could that be? Elders doesn't sound like something I want to encounter. Very true. The Absolute is this master, I'm sure of it. No. If our parasites... No, because our parasites, which we are strengthening, but the thought is that our guardian is against our current parasites, is trying to get them removed. At least that's our claim, but recognizes we need the power. So currently we're supposed to boost our parasites, but long term we are against them. That's the claim. Because if our guardian is against the Absolute, then our parasite could still be serving the Absolute, be the master, and our guardian against the Absolute, and therefore the owner of our parasite. It could be. Because I was thinking our guardian is on the side of our parasite. But she's not. She just wants us to make use of it for now. Fever dream born of the parasite, they should be ignored. No. Having all of us have the same dream, that's not fever dreams. That's something magical, bigger than ourselves. But yes, I want to know who she thinks. She knows a lot more about the mind flayers than we do. So whatever she thinks she knows is going to be a much more informative answer. So if she thinks it's not a Geich elder, a mind flayer elder, but something greater, I want to know what she thinks, what she knows. So Greater Master, who or what could that be?
A question that burns in my belly day and night.
So you don't know.
Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others.
Like, Lae'zel is definitely a very solid voice of reasoning in this instance because she does have a much more solid viewpoint of what's going on. I notice we're still only at 5 tadpoles. Do they have tadpoles in their inventory that don't count towards this number? We look. How many do we have in our inventory? Tadpole. Parasite? Looks like we don't have any. So are those 5 just in our allies' inventory? In which case they didn't gain any. Kind of hard to check your inventory. Astarion, I think, only had 1. And he still only has 1. What gift were you given then? Because it sounded like they were talking about she gave them another parasite. But maybe that's just flavor text?
Still breathing, despite everything.
Because I'm seeing that we still just have the 5.
Keep a blade
And even when
close.
we switch to our allies, that's still the case.
Don't burn yourself.
Okay, and they are still hesitant. Yeah.
Let's get
I'm
going.
curious what you guys think of these powers as stated. Are there ones that seem better than I'm giving them credit for? Because at current, I don't see any of them that really stand out to me as being strongly important for Varric to take. Getting a bonus on our first attack roll is nice. Force Tunnel to be able to charge our way through enemies, no. A Blast, I wish I knew more about this. It looks like it's a freebie action. It doesn't use a spell slot to do a good amount of damage. And we can do it every turn? Hello. Hang on. This is not like a once per day thing. It's just a very powerful blast that potentially can also heal us. I stand corrected. That one sounds amazing. Transfuse health is also not a certain number of times per day. Just all the time we can give up half of our remaining hit points to heal. I don't think that's right for Varric. Possibly Shadowheart as our healer. It does use an action, but it doesn't use a spell slot. Yes, Varric, you can have this concentration blast. He doesn't have a lot of concentration spells, so I don't think we're going to get as much out of the heal. But yes, we'll take that, and that opens up Psionic Backlash. When an enemy within 30 feet casts a spell, you can use your reaction to inflict 1d4 psychic damage to the caster per the spell's level. Doesn't even have to be a spell attacking us. Just if a spellcaster, you know, someone casts a spell within 30 feet of us, we just get free damage on them. Well, at the cost of a reaction, but we don't use our reaction much. Could be good. Or Cull the Weak. When you bring a creature down to fewer hit points than your number of evolved illithid powers, it dies and all nearby creatures take 1 to 4 psychic damage. So I'm assuming by evolved illithid powers, it's talking about the ones that we've unlocked, probably including illithid persuasion, but I don't know that. So it means that if we bought this and we brought a creature down to fewer hit points then, so not 3 or less, just less than 3, then they would die in all nearby creatures, not all nearby enemies. Ah, I don't like that. Because we're usually a lot closer to our allies than we are to other enemies because we're in the back. So probably not that. Psionic Backlash could be nice. But again, we're in the back. But we do keep running into spellcasters and getting the ability to do damage to them. For instance, if we remember the hag fight that was awful, where the hag split into a bunch of different copies that could all cast spells. but any damage to them, it seemed like any amount of damage would cause them to dissipate. So if we had something like this, then each time one of them tried to cast a spell, we'd do 1d4 psychic damage. No, reaction. Once per turn, we would do 1d4 psychic damage and pop that illusion copy. There's value there. I don't know. We'll start with this. Concentrated Blast. Seems really useful. So that's now sitting here. You must be concentrating on another spell to cast this. If the target was concentrating, you heal that much. A 3d6... essentially a 3d6 spell, but it requires us to concentrate on something. Do I have concentration spells? Witch Bolt, which I never use. Blur, but that would be giving up a second level spell, which seems risky. Friends is a cantrip, but it would annoy whoever I cast it on. Dancing Lights is also a cantrip. I think that's it. Yeah. So if I cast Dancing Lights, it's probably the easiest one. We cast Dancing Lights, and then this becomes available. And then it's such a cool looking effect. And then we can cast it on someone to do a crazy amount of damage. If that person is also concentrating, then we get to heal. We'll see how that plays out when we actually get to a fight. But I think if we can keep Dancing Lights on at the start of a combat, then that just gives us another big blast that doesn't use a spell slot, which is pretty cool. That'll be the plan. No, don't end the day. We want to leave camp. Alright, but with that, we are going to end this video here. And next time, we will actually finally leave this temple and deal with all the goblins that are outside. But we had quite a few things happen. A lot of interactions with our party, some more interactions with our guardian. It's been good. Hope you all had fun, and I'll see you next time.